guys, what's up? I'm Mary Richardson, Rapid Transformational Therapy Practitioner. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, why does your anxiety keep coming back? Well, there's two main causes. And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe so you get notified if you want to. Every time I upload a new video about you and your anxiety. And so like and subscribe if you want. Also, don't forget to write comments and questions so I can answer those in future videos as well. Why does your anxiety keep coming back? Well, let's look at one of the major reasons why anxiety happens is because we are afraid of the past or fearful of the future. Also, our brain takes it a step further and it catastrophizes, meaning it makes up stories about what could happen in the future. Yeah, maybe you had a bad experience in the past. We all have. What our brain does is if we let it and if we engage those negative catastrophic thoughts, our brain is very creative and imagines what could happen. And of course, it's always negative, right? What could happen in the future. So we feel like, oh my gosh, the past was bad, but the future could be so much worse because not only could the past could it happen again, but it could go even more wrong. And if you engage those thoughts and go down all those rabbit holes and view all of that imagery, that may set off your anxiety and keep your anxiety very, very strong. It could set off a panic attack, potentially. Because we know that panic attacks are right under the umbrella of anxiety. So is OCD, fears and phobias, and as well as derealization, depersonalization. It all starts, if you haven't noticed, it all starts in our mind, right? It's how we interpret what's happening around us. One thing for one person isn't stressing them out, but it's a major anxiety stumbling block for us. So it's all in the interpretation. So if you are continuing to experience strong anxiety, getting stronger and stronger, here's something you may want to be aware of. Anxiety can be made better by the visual images we have in our mind. So you can always take a mental break, just like you would do in the past, to entertain the what-if thoughts. And if you're like me, you may not even have realized that you were entertaining the what-if thoughts. You may not have realized how much time you just spent thinking about a certain scenario happening, a negative scenario. And then you realize you just spent the last 5 minutes going down that rabbit hole. What you can do is more consciously take a mental break, visualize something else happening, something positive happening, and then go back to whatever you're doing. You do this enough and it'll become a pattern and a habit, just like the negative thoughts are a pattern and a habit. You didn't come onto the planet automatically thinking negative thoughts. We come onto the planet feeling fully loaded, fully happy, fully expectant, fully full of hope, fully full of hope. And over time, we learn different ways of coping. And those what-if thoughts are just our way of coping, which didn't serve us very well. So this video is only for people that want to make a change and want to move forward and get control of the negative what-if, fearful, worrisome thoughts in your mind. Here's an example of what I have done. I always do fear being late, especially to something like you have to go to maybe, I don't know, maybe you move and you have to change your driver's license, or you have to go to the bank, or you have to get to church. And my fear is always walking in late, where everybody kind of looks at you, or everybody's all settled. And I always think to myself, wow, all I had to do was get up 15 minutes earlier, or do something different so I could have already arrived 15 minutes earlier. Because for me, being late is a major cause of anxiety for me. So what I've learned is that I'm either super late or super early. So I will err on the side of being super early, even if I'm sitting in the parking lot, uh, just, you know, waiting a few extra minutes. Because for me, I'm less anxious that way. Um, Also, what I do, like, let's say, for instance, I just moved and I need to update my driver's license and I need to go to the DMV. And my fear is that what if I get lost? What if it takes too long? What if instead of an hour and a half, experience turns into a 2 hour, 3 hour experience and I'm not doing this work? I'm not at home working like I want to be. And that's always my fear because it's out of my control. I may have an appointment, but they might be running late. It might not go so smoothly. It might, you can think of a million reasons why it would take longer. And that stresses me out. Anything where I feel like I don't have control stresses me out. It creates a lot of anxiety in my life. So, what I finally have wrapped my mind around is that I have control of nothing except my thoughts and my actions. So when you think of it like that, okay, so that means my higher power is in control of everything. It means that I need to just focus on the things that I can do. If I go someplace and it takes longer, there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I could leave, but then I just have to come back and go through it all again. So my point is, we win or lose in our mind first. And that's really true. It's really how we perceive things. So if you are having strong anxiety, you believe you can go out for a little while with your family, but you always want to be able to come back home in case your anxiety flares up. It's a lot of it is our perception of what's going on around us. We might be feeding ourselves thoughts about, oh, everybody's looking at me, or I wonder what they're thinking, and what I realized recently is everybody's just as nervous as I am. They might look cool, calm, and collected, but they're wanting to get out of there as quickly as I am. We're all just trying to make it work. So that kind of helped me with my anxiety as well. If you can take a mental break and allow yourself, though, to just kind of visualize when you feel anxiety coming on, it can make it so much better. And I'm not saying you have to meditate for 3 hours. I'm just saying just shift your thoughts into being grateful for something, or shift your thoughts into thinking, okay, it could turn out this way, but it could also turn out really positive, where it takes you less time than expected. If you have strong anxiety, I get you, I hear you. I know panic attacks are real. The panic attack I had, one morning, I kept indulging in all of the negative what if thoughts. This was several years ago. Oh my goodness, a lot of years ago, probably, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And I was living in an apartment and I was alone. It was a nice apartment. They had like a clubhouse and I went to work out. And for me, I mean, I've lived alone a lot, but I have a lot of friends around me, a lot of people around me. In this particular case, I just started thinking a lot of negative things about what